heaven or not? You can know for sure. heavenornot.net.
An alternative to pills, Voltaren is a clinically proven arthritis pain relief gel which penetrates deep to target the source of pain with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medicine directly at the source. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Monday on ET, inside Hollywood's Party of the Year.
ET at the Golden Globes.
The couples, the fashion.
It's surprisingly comfortable.
What you didn't see backstage.
Hi, E.T.
I'm getting really hyped for Sunday.
This is going to be one of our favorite nights of the year.
Happening now.
A possible third suspect in the Matthew Guerra Savannah Soto murder case. We'll tell you what police are looking at that may lead them to a third arrest.
Some chilly mornings ahead of us this weekend. We'll talk about just how cold and where, along with the next system that hits us on Monday. You're going to feel it. Gusty winds and storm chances. We'll talk about it all in just a bit.
Check your fridge. More than 5 tons of deli meat is recalled. Coming up, I'll explain why and what to look for. The news at 5 starts right now.
San Antonio police today staying tight-lipped on whether there is a third suspect in the killings of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn son.
In a press conference, SAPD Chief William McManus did confirm investigators are looking into this portion of surveillance video, which appears to show a towel tossed into the hands of Ramon Preciado, presumably by a person inside his truck. 36 hours after the arrests of father-son suspects Ramon and Christopher Preciado, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus and Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez provided an update to this now weeks-long saga.
The gun, believed to be the murder weapon, has been recently recovered from the suspect's home.
SAPD yesterday filed an additional charge against the son for abuse of a corpse and an additional charge against his father for altering a corpse. Both men remain at the Bexar County Jail. But will a third person be charged? Police contend this December 21st surveillance footage shows the Preciados moving Matthew Guerra's car to an apartment complex on Danny K. Drive in the middle of the night, with the bodies of Guerra and a 9 months pregnant Soto inside. The couple killed, according to an arrest affidavit, during a drug deal gone bad. The security video includes this sequence in which Ramon Preciado appears to be tossed a towel from someone else inside his truck. McManus today confirmed
that's something we're still looking into. It's something that's been brought up in conversation about this, so we're still looking into that.
Asked directly whether Christopher Preciado's mother has been questioned by investigators in recent days, McManus gave this buttoned-up response.
I'm going to leave that question unanswered.
Yesterday, Guerra's father, Gabriel, alluded that more developments are coming.
I'm not going to say anything right now, but I don't think this is the end of it right now.
And stay with us for the very latest developments in this case. KSAT is keeping you informed on all of our platforms, on air, KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and on the KSAT YouTube channel.
New at 5, San Antonio police officer fired after being investigated for groping a woman and damaging her son's New Braunfels home. This happening over the summer. According to records obtained by KSAT 12 Investigates, Officer Jeremias Duque Jr. was terminated in late November, months after the July incident. Duque was off duty when he allegedly put his hand on the breast of the homeowner's mother during a party. After being confronted by a witness about the incident, Duque allegedly stated he, quote, could do whatever he wanted, unquote. A physical fight broke out between Duque and the woman's son. Witnesses pulled the men apart, but according to records, Duque then broke a window trying to force his way back into that home. According to New Braunfels police, Duque was seriously intoxicated and later cursed at staff at an area emergency room. Duque was not arrested since both the woman and the homeowner declined to pursue criminal charges.
More than 5 tons of deli meat is recalled because it could make people sick. Some of the packages were sold at our local Sam's Clubs.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz explaining what the problem is and why some popular massage guns may mean more pain than relief.
More than 11,000 pounds of deli meat sold at Sam's Clubs, including 6 San Antonio stores, is recalled. The concern is salmonella contamination. Besetto Foods recalled the 18-ounce charcuterie meat sampler trays. The best buy date is April 27th. If you have it in your fridge, take it back to Sam's Club or just throw it out. The USDA is investigating an outbreak that may be linked to this product. 11,000 bike helmets are recalled because they can fail to protect in a crash. These are Bell Sports slope helmets, adult only. Target, Academy, and other stores sold them last year. Contact Bell Sports to get your money back. This popular massage gun may relieve sore muscles, but it can also be a fire danger. Homedics is recalling 46,000. Therapists select percussion personal massagers after several reports of overheating. Only devices manufactured in 2022 or earlier are included. And do you have these patio chairs from Home Goods, Marshalls, or TJ Maxx? 29,000 of these wood and rope bistro chairs sold in sets are recalled because they can collapse when you sit on them. People have been hurt. Take them back. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Sky cleared out nicely early this morning after some rainfall across our area. At the airport overall, we had actually a little over 1/10 of an inch. 46 was our temperature this morning, 66 this afternoon with that sunshine. In Warren's backyard in Del Rio, 500ths of an inch of rain. Temperatures right now for the most part right around 70, and you see most of us picking up a few hundredths to even a quarter of an inch in Mico. That was the exception, 0.26 in Dean's backyard in Mico. But we had that moisture move through last night and early this morning. Now we're clear, but cooling quickly. Get ready for a chilly evening ahead. By 8 o'clock, we'll be 10 degrees cooler than now at 54, 10 o'clock at 50. Thereafter, we're dropping into the 40s, and get ready for some 30s this weekend. We'll talk about what you can expect in the mornings and the afternoons, and more importantly, the wound up system that hits us on Monday. You'll see in a bit.
Thank you, Adam. President Joe Biden taking a swipe at former President Donald Trump, the clear frontrunner in the Republican primary race. Biden's speech this afternoon comes one day ahead of the anniversary of the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot.
Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live from the White House with Biden's attack on the former president and why he's choosing this strategy for his first campaign stop of the year. Hi, Julia.
Good evening. Well, President Joe Biden is looking to set himself apart from his likely 2024 opponent. He spoke to a crowd at a campaign event tonight, and he asked them to look back at former President Donald Trump's rhetoric during the Trump presidency and to specifically look at Trump's decisions on January 6, 2021.
Today, we're here to answer the most important of questions. Is democracy still America's sacred cause?
President Joe Biden is kicking off the election year, speaking near Valley Forge in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, the day before the anniversary of the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol.
For the first time in our history, insurrectionists had come to stop the peaceful transfer of power in America. First time. Smashing windows, shattering doors, attacking the police. Outside, gallows were erected as the MAGA crowd chanted, "Hang Mike Pence."
The Biden campaign is making the case that Republican frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, poses a threat to democracy. Their messaging plan clearly outlined in Biden's latest national ad.
I've made the preservation of American democracy the central issue of my presidency.
The Biden team emphasizes that while they believe democracy is on the ballot in November, they're also working to highlight everyday issues like education and the economy on the trail.
These aren't an either or, there are both and. We've got to communicate to American voters about what we're doing to make their lives easier.
Polling indicates that more Americans side with the Democratic Party on issues like abortion, climate change, and voting rights. But more of the public aligns with the Republican Party when it comes to how to handle the economy. And we know going into the 2024 election that the economy will be a key topic. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Julia. If you could stay with us just for a moment. Former President Donald Trump is also campaigning in Iowa this evening and tomorrow. What is his message to voters as he continues to hold that huge lead in the polls among his Republican opponents?
Well, that's right. And as he is looking to win in Iowa, he's also facing multiple legal battles. And there was some big news here in Washington, D.C. this evening that just came out that that's related to Trump's role on January 6th. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the Colorado Supreme Court removed his name from the ballot in that state, citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Trump appealed that to the U.S. Supreme Court, who would have the final say on the matter. And the U.S. Supreme Court has announced tonight that they will review that Colorado decision. They're expected to hear oral arguments on February 8th.
And Julia, Vice President Kamala Harris is also hitting the road in January to campaign. How is she working to highlight specific issues that will matter to voters?
Well, one of those big issues is abortion rights, and Vice President Kamala Harris is really taking the lead on that. She is scheduled to start what they're calling a reproductive rights tour, and that is going to start on January 22nd. So like Biden's event tonight, both the timing and the location of that event are strategic. It's going to take place in Wisconsin, which is, of course, an important swing state, and it's happening on the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade. We know that since Roe v. Wade was overturned, that abortion rights have been a key motivating factor that gets people to the polls when abortion rights are specifically on the ballot.
Thank you, Julia Benbeck, reporting live from Washington. We've got an update on a story we told you about on Wednesday night. The Shack is back. That food truck that was fashioned like an old shack is back in its rightful place after it disappeared this week. And the owner says it's been parked in that same spot with no problems next to Acadiana Cafe on the west side since the early 90s. But on Wednesday, it was discovered stolen. We learned this morning someone with the cafe that the shack was recovered by a Good Samaritan and returned to the cafe's owner. And here's what the headline should have been. In appreciation of the Shack's return, Acadiana Cafe is going to be giving out complimentary gumbo on Sunday. It'll be in the cafe's parking lot from 11 to 1 p.m. See how we buried the lead there?
It's a nice gesture, though, to close out having that thing returned. We're taking a look at I-35 at O'Connor. Traffic moving pretty well for being a few minutes after 5 o'clock on a Friday in both directions there. And coming up after the break, what was old is now new. More and more couples are engaging in sleep divorce. Why one health expert says you may want to agree to sleep apart. Next.
I'm Stefania Jimenez with a look at what we're working on for you for the news at 6 o'clock. We'll start with this. She was originally charged with capital murder. So why is a woman connected to the 2020 death of a young mother now getting a form of probation? What the district attorney's office is saying about that plea deal. Plus, a string of violent shootings between repeat offenders and San Antonio police officers last fall sparked heated debates between the DA and the police chief. Coming up at 6, we're going to break down their new action plan that they hope will improve collaboration and communications. We'll have that for you today and so much more on the news at 6.
Thank you, Stefania. A marriage trend that's getting some mixed reviews. It's called sleep divorce. And a 2023 study says about a third of people who participated in the study admitted that they occasionally or regularly sleep in separate rooms from their partners.
Health experts say so-called sleep divorce can both help and potentially harm a relationship. Mandy Geither has more on whether it's right for you.
It's a blast from the past, an old trend gaining new traction in homes across the U.S., sleeping separately from your partner.
Sleep divorce, and I don't really like that name because it suggests, divorce sounds so dire, but we want to achieve sleep compatibility, so it doesn't need to be an all or nothing solution.
Psychotherapist Robbie Ludwig says sleep is a critical part of overall health, Those who don't get their recommended Z's can be more vulnerable to certain medical conditions like diabetes, cardiovascular problems, even dementia. But she says sleeping in separate beds can impact intimacy. If you'd like to try the trend, she advises to go for it on an as-needed basis.
If you have a big business meeting, or if you find during the week it's really important for you to have good sleep, you can find that you maybe have separate sleep for a period of time and then sleep together on the weekends.
If you do sleep separately, Ludwig says to find time to be intimate and to connect with one another. And if you're not sleeping through the night when together, she says to make sure something else isn't at play.
If you find that there's no medical reason for it and there doesn't appear to be some psychological conflict underlying the separate sleeping issues, then you can figure out a plan that makes sense for both of you.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Can we just look at this a little bit longer? The day lasts a little bit longer, maybe.
Well, we are gaining a little bit of daylight now. We're on the upswing. That's something to think about. Yes, little by little, day by day, we are gaining some daylight. Now, this weekend, we're going to have some chilly mornings out there, but comfortable afternoons. A potent cold front hits us on Monday. And what I mean by potent is mainly windy. A very windy cold front Monday all the way through Tuesday. We'll get into those details in a moment. First, I want to start with our temperature trend, because that cold front will have an impact on temperatures. But when we say potent cold front, I mean it more so the potency of the wind rather than temperatures. Yes, it'll be cool on Tuesday behind the front at 59. 60s this weekend during the afternoons. Monday, we even hit 70, and then we're down to 59 on Tuesday. Another cold front drops the temperature for this time next week. We've got a series of cold fronts headed our way, and they're both going to be windy and gusty. Just plan for the coldest or the coolest days to be Tuesday and Friday. Those will be the coolest afternoons. Let's prepare you for tomorrow morning. We'll be down, I think, in the mid to upper 30s for most of us, even a brief light freeze as you get into parts of the hill country, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Bandera, Pipe Creek, about 31, 32 in the morning. Leon Springs at 35 tomorrow morning. If you're up and out the door in Converse, 39 degrees at 7 a.m., Elmendorf 37, Castroville 35. So a little above freezing to start the weekend. But by the noon hour, we're sunny and 58, and then 67 for the high temperature. So cool morning in the 60s, or in the 30s. By the afternoon, we're in the 60s with a bit of a breeze. 68 Port SA, New Braunfels 65 tomorrow afternoon. And Sunday's going to be similar. Another chilly start to the day, just a few degrees cooler, 37 here in town, and a brief light freeze in parts of the hill country. But by the afternoon, we're back into the 60s, and some changes do start to happen Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. That's when the clouds are going to thicken up, and we'll have our next system starting to approach our area. Now, we had some moisture last night and early this morning, just over 1/10 of an inch reported at the airport officially in town. But this system, see the counterclockwise swirl here north of Oklahoma City. That's moving out. If you're the good energy and moisture moving through Louisiana into Mississippi, and remember, they need it too. They've got a big drought, Louisiana and Mississippi. We'll look at the drought monitor with the radar on top of it coming up at 6 o'clock. Our next system is just west of Canada here. It's moving out of Alaska. It's pushing southward into the lower 48 this weekend. High elevation snow, good for the ski resorts in the Rockies. And then this is going to swing a dry line and cold front through on Monday. With it, yes, we do have a slight chance of a few showers and even thunderstorms, mainly Monday morning at 30%. I also expect some drizzle Monday morning as well. So some dampness as we get back to work and school. The key headline, though, with the potency, wind. Very windy on the backside of this system. What do we mean by very windy? Well, these are the wind gusts that we're expecting. A steady wind at 20 to 30 miles per hour. But look at this. We could see wind gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour Monday evening, Monday night, and all the way into Tuesday morning as well. So take down the Christmas decorations this weekend. Good weather to do it. We're dry, we'll have sunshine, comfortable afternoons, and then you prepare for the gusty winds as we get back to work and school. Again, just a 30% chance of a few showers and storms Monday morning. But if we do see a storm pop up, there is the off chance that one or two could be strong to severe, especially east of San Antonio. Ursula?
Thank you so much, Adam.
And Mary, I think I speak for all Spurs fans. That was probably one of the more entertaining Spurs games the last few years last night, even though it ended in a loss.
Yes, exactly. Even though it ended in a loss, it was one of those matchups that you'll have in your memory forever. A treat for basketball fans everywhere. The first battle between Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama and Bucks two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. It exceeded expectation. We'll talk about it coming up. Plus, the All-American Bowl National Combine hosting the nation's top underclassmen for a chance to up their recruit stock. Coming up after the break. Last night, NBA fans got to witness an epic battle between two international gems when superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks went head-to-head with rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs in the Alamo City. Giannis and Wemby went back and forth, exchanging jaw-dropping play for jaw-dropping play in a game that went down to the wire. The Bucks eventually clinched the win, 125-121, thanks to a pair of threes from Antetokounmpo late to hand San Antonio its 29th loss. But what last night will be remembered for, Wembanyama in his rookie season going toe-to-toe with one of the best to ever play the game.
Somebody I grew up watching and one of the greatest players in the world, so it's always extra motivation, and I know, I'm a competitor, so I want to go at everyone and be the bad guy on the court, so it was a great matchup.
There was a point where I was on the bench, I was just watching the game, and Giannis came down and did something amazing, and then Wembanyama came back and did something amazing as well. I was like, wow, I'm watching something really special here.
Wemby finished with 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocks in 26 minutes. Devin Vassell added 6 triples. Giannis dropped 44 and grabbed 14 boards. San Antonio returns to action Sunday at Cleveland. Over at the Alamo Dome today, the All-American Bowl National Combine was held to show off the talents of some of the nation's top high school football underclassmen. These college football hopefuls got an opportunity to show what they can do through several drills in front of top scouting organizations. The players also competed against each other to see how they compare against other big-time recruits. The All-American Bowl is tomorrow at noon.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
We're a completely different team now from our first meeting. You put the tape on, and it's like, wow, I'm encouraged by how much better we've gotten. You kind of know like who we are now.
Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans is talking about Houston's 31-20 loss week 2 to the Colts. But since then, the Texans have won 9 games and most recently handed Tennessee a 26-3 defeat. Houston can clinch a playoff spot with a win tomorrow, but could win the division with a win and a Jacksonville loss. Kickoff is tomorrow night at 7:15. Should be a really good Week 18.
And it's just the 2 games tomorrow for the NFL and then the full slate on Sunday.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next.